So while we are also processing the incredible information we saw announced to us yesterday, being that Sora is the final DLC Smash character, there's a lot of other Nintendo Switch news stories that have dropped since then that I want to share with you guys today. The first of which being that we now have the official date for the Animal Crossing Nintendo Direct that will be taking place in October. Then I also want to cover with you guys the incredible review scores that are dropping for Metroid Dread, and why, if it's not already on your shopping list to pick up this holiday season, that you should add it now. And then the other big thing that we have to cover is the fact that Nintendo Switch OLED model review scores are dropping as well, and this is definitely going to be a noteworthy upgrade for handheld players. What's up, Nation? If it's your first time on the channel, make sure you join Sunbro Nation by subscribing below, hit the like button on this video if you enjoy it today, and make sure you turn on your bell notification icon so you're kept up to date with all the newest gaming news. As I mentioned, guys, we were covering a few different stories today, the first of which, starting off with, is Animal Crossing Direct and the official announcement around the time frame that we can expect this to air, because we now have the date, which is October 15th, and this will air early in the morning, especially if you are on the West Coast. As Pacific time, it'll go live at 7 a.m. and Eastern time, that is 10 a.m. So this will be a giant event for a lot of Animal Crossing fans. If you guys have been around on the channel for a while, you probably know I am not one of those people. Like, I definitely gave my fair share of gameplay to Animal Crossing. I would say I put in a total of 20 to 30 hours, and it just wasn't one of those games for me that I could continue to play like a lot of players have. But obviously it has a giant fan base, as this game has actually sold more than Smash Bros, if you can believe that. It's actually over 30 million total units, and this was only released in March of 2020, which is last year. So it's kind of crazy how big of an installment this has been for Nintendo overall, and it's really cool to see Nintendo have another game that is out there on the Switch that they're going to continue to update over time. To my knowledge, all of these updates come in free. Like, it's free content that you can just update the game and enjoy, and you don't have to do paid DLC and things like that. So maybe they'll throw us a curveball and some of this will be paid DLC announcement, but I would expect Nintendo to stay the course as they normally do with Animal Crossing and just make it the big seasonal upgrade. So for all the Animal Crossing fans out there, I would love to hear your personal wish list from what you want to see from this Animal Crossing Direct. It is roughly 20 minutes long, so that is plenty of time to focus on multiple announcements and multiple upgrades, or maybe they just drag it out and don't give you all the content you want. But hopefully that's not the case. I do think this will be a fun and exciting event, and I will be checking it out myself, because if there is something that's really fun or unique that I will drive me to go back to Animal Crossing, I will probably most likely update the game and check out the new content. But let me know in the comments down below what you guys are hoping to see from this Animal Crossing Direct if you are a fan of the series. Now from there, I want to update you guys on the incredible review scores that we are seeing drop around Metroid Dread, as the embargo has now lifted and there are all these different companies going out there and giving it the official review, and it is currently sitting at a very impressive 88 score on Metacritic, and I think this is going to be a Game of the Year contender, guys. I really do. This is a sequel that has been almost 20 years in the making, which is hard to believe, but Nintendo's going to want to pay off the closing chapter of the 2D story that we've been waiting on this entire time, and they are taking it incredibly seriously. And it's really reassuring to read some of the quotes that the big review companies are saying about this game, as there's a couple I want to highlight here just from VGC and Nintendo Life, as they are both news sources that I like to go to. And their Metacritic statement reads as follows. VGC, who gave the game a perfect 100 score, had the following to say about the game. With a near-perfect balance of nods to the past and fresh ideas, Metroid Dread brings cinematic flair, fast-paced action, and surprising story to the side-scrolling classic. This is the comeback fans have been waiting for. Nintendo Life, who also rated it 100, had this to say. Metroid Dread is a triumphant return for both Samus Aran and developers Mercury Steam. This is a super slick, hugely entertaining, and exquisitely designed entry in the Metroid franchise that plays better than anything we've seen from the series so far. With a bunch of fantastic new abilities, super tense, enjoyable stealth sections, plenty of great big boss fights, and a story that fans will definitely enjoy, we really can't see how this one could have been any better. Best Metroid game ever? This could be the one. So this is one of those games that is just really important to me to see do well, and it is very reassuring to see great review scores out of the gate, and I think that this is going to be the thing that gets Metroid back in the mainstream for the series, or at least if it sells decently enough and Nintendo knows they could pull this off with a 2D installment in Metroid. Imagine what that means for the future of Metroid as a household franchise going forward, as we know to expect things as soon as next year with the series, according to a lot of leaks and rumors suggesting that we are either getting a Metroid Prime 1 remake, and they could be standalone remakes trickled out, or we may just get the Prime Trilogy HD drop next year as a surprise. But regardless of what we see, we are definitely getting big pushes from Metroid, as I've just never seen Nintendo do the kind of love, care, and marketing tactics that they've done with Metroid Dread to try to prop this game up to truly be a successful installment in Metroid and actually get new fans exposed to the series that haven't been before. As you know, they strategically launched it alongside of the Switch OLED, which drops on October 8th, and people going in to get that handheld upgrade will most likely also see the new games on the shelf, and Metroid Dread will be one of them. And all of the different promotional merchandising that you see in stores and even billboards and things like that that Nintendo has done to try to advertise this game and market it as a huge AAA title is just super reassuring for the future of the series for Metroid fans out there. As because if you're a long-term fan, you see sometimes gaps in time where Nintendo does not focus on or think about Metroid at all. We've even gone entire console generations without seeing any Metroid installments, so this is really great news for me. I cannot wait to pick up this game on October 8th myself. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. If Metroid Dread is a day one pickup, are you going to wait for more review scores to come out, or have any of these review scores maybe changed your mind and maybe you will be ended up picking up this game? And I would really love to hear from first time fans on how you think of the series so far if you haven't played one before, and what your hype level is going into October 8th when we see this game release. And then, of course, in addition to Metroid Dread launching on October 8th, like I mentioned, we also have the Switch OLED model to look forward to, and we are getting the same treatment with that, as we are seeing all of the major companies drop their official reviews. And there is a lot of hands-on footage that you guys can go check out on videos, even teardowns, and a lot of different information that we are getting around the Switch OLED as we do get closer to its release. But it is really reassuring to see how big of a difference this new OLED screen is actually making in handheld mode, as that is the underlying theme that continues to be brought up. Obviously, they fixed the kickstand. That was a big problem, and this is going to make it playable in tabletop mode way more than it was before, because I would just call the old kickstand essentially unusable, unless if you were in some kind of environment where nothing would bump or shake anywhere and you just could prop it up just right. And even then, I still feel like it could tip over. So it's good that the kickstand was fixed, but definitely the silver lining with the Nintendo Switch OLED is the larger display and then just how vibrant the colors look. And I can definitely tell from video footage that the colors do pop more, but I think that's one of those things that I would encourage you guys, if you're on the fence about this purchase, to actually go into some kind of a store. As we get closer to its release, we should start to see more and more demo models of this thing hit retailers, and I do think that this will be one of those things you have to go see it in person to really fully appreciate how much better it's going to look, because I was not lucky enough to get my Switch OLED early like a lot of other content creators did, but I do know that from different comparison shots, you can just really tell that that upgrade from 6.2 inches to 7 inches makes all of the difference, and you can tell that the colors are more vibrant. So, you know, my theory this entire time has been I don't play my Switch in handheld very much because the screen is not quite immersive enough for me, and the colors really don't pop, and I don't enjoy the games quite as much as I do playing them on my TV. My theory with this OLED model, and now why I'm getting more hyped as we get closer to the release of it, is the fact that I think I will start to take my Switch with me to more places and actually play it in handheld or tabletop mode, just because of the bigger, brighter display, the colors pop more, and it's more immersive. So I will definitely be happy to get my hands on it and do my own first impressions type of deal. But, until then, I do want to share with you guys some of the review scores that are going up there, and just some of the statements overall from a couple different major companies that have reviewed this model and had their own hands-on footage to hopefully help you make your final decisions if you're on the fence about trying to pick up one of these OLED models. So as we hop over to Nintendo Life, they did a very nice article compiling a few of the major review companies and their statements on the Switch OLED. The Verge described the new system as the more premium portable experience within the Switch family of systems. They were quoted here saying, "The Switch Lite is the obvious entry point, a cheaper model and one designed explicitly for portable play with its small size and sturdy construction. The base model Switch, meanwhile, is decent on the go, but best for those who will primarily use it as a home console, which makes the newest model the best of both worlds. For $50 more, it works like a typical Switch at home, but its excellent OLED display and finely functional kickstand also makes it the more premium portable experience." Eurogamer called the OLED a must-have upgrade for portable mode fans. "We don't know when Nintendo will deliver a next-generation Switch console, but until that time, the new OLED model is the absolute best way to enjoy the machine's excellent library of games. If you don't own a Switch and you're looking to buy one, this is the one to get. And if you're already a Switch owner and display quality in portable mode is important to you, this is a must-have upgrade." IGN called it an easy recommendation for those who don't own a Switch already, but a tough sell for those who do. After playing with it for about a week, I found that Nintendo Switch OLED model's brighter, more vibrant, and slightly larger screen has made me want to take it out of the dock mode much more often, not just when I'm out and about to travel. I feel more encouraged to lounge around the couch or even direct sunlight in the yard and play games handheld. The revised kickstand makes playing on any flat surface easier, and the Ethernet-enabled dock makes downloads quicker. While it's a tough sell for current Switch owners, particularly those who mostly keep their console docked, there are enough revisions to make it an easy recommendation for anyone who doesn't own a Switch already. So definitely the final recommendation in my eyes around the Switch OLED is if you think you are somebody who will take this console portably more often because of the better display, maybe go get your hands on one and maybe at least go look at a demo model to see what you actually think about it, playing it in handheld and in sunlight and things like that. And then, if you're somebody who you really only ever intend to play docked going forward and you are not going to take this thing on the go for really any length of time, then there is obviously no point for you to upgrade to the system. And I do know that a lot of fans will be skipping over this revision just for the simple fact that there is no performance boost. And initially I was kind of leaning in that camp, but I do think that I intend to start to take it with me more, play it on the go, play it on tabletop mode and handheld mode. And I'm just personally super hyped as we are only a couple days away at the time of filming this video for the Switch OLED official release date, and I will be happy to wake up early and go pick it up from the GameStop that I have it pre-ordered at. And it's going to be an exciting time for me. So at this point in the video, guys, I want to know all your thoughts and opinions on everything we talked about today. Are you looking forward to the Animal Crossing Nintendo Direct on October 15th, and what updates do you hope we see announced? Then definitely let me know if you're planning on picking up Metroid Dread at release day, and what your hype level is walking into this game now that we're starting to get the really solid review scores that are dropping. And then the big talking point I want to hear from you guys on is, are you planning on upgrade to the Switch OLED model? And is it something that you think that if you're like me, where maybe you didn't play it as portable mode as much before, do you think that maybe now that the OLED model is here and the bigger screen and the brighter display will actually get you to play in portable mode more often? So I do look forward to getting a back and forth conversation started with you all around these topics. So make sure you share your thoughts in the comments before you leave the video. Thanks so much for watching the video today, everyone. I do truly appreciate you all sticking around until the end. I do at this point in the video want to invite you all one more time to join Sunbro Nation if you haven't done so already. Do so by subscribing below, hit the like button on your way out if you enjoyed it today, and make sure you turn on your bell notification icon so you're kept up to date with all the newest gaming news. That's going to do it for me, guys. I hope you all have a great day. Sunbro Nation, out.